This video has been made in collaboration with another YouTube channel named Shining Nature. Link to the collaboration channel is provided in the description. Hello friends, myself Angshuman Uze and welcome to Learn History TV. In this video, we are going to figure out whether Winston Churchill was a good person or a bad person. If you ask about him to a British person, then they will tell you all the good things about him. But if you ask about him to an Indian person, then surely they are going to get offended. So, to find out who the real Winston Churchill was, let's start this video. Winston Churchill was born on 13 November 1874. His father's name was Lord Randolph Churchill and his mother's name was Jenny Spencer Churchill. On his father's side, he was a direct descendant of the first Duke of Marlborough, General John Churchill. This made Winston an aristocrat. He also had a brother whose name was Jack Spencer Churchill. Winston began his education in St. George's School, but he was not academically gifted and he also lacked proper discipline. Thus, he had to change school multiple times. He finally succeeded to enter the Royal Military Academy, which is present in Sandhurst, in September 1893. In February 1895, Winston Churchill was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the 4th Queen's Own Hussars Regiment of the British Army. He also saw military action in Cuba, India, and Sudan. In 1908, he was married to Clementine Churchill, who was also a women's rights activist. They had one son, whose name was Randolph, and 4 daughters, namely Marigold, Diana, Sarah, and Mary. Winston Churchill died on 24 January 1965 in London due to severe illness. As a politician, Winston Churchill was motivated by personal ambition instead of any political principle. He made many enemies in the parliament but always remained loyal to his supporters. Although his actions seemed to be liberal, his ideology was fundamentally conservative. Winston Churchill was against socialism and thus had an enmity with the leaders of the labour movement. Churchill also supported British imperialism. He believed that by conquering and dominating the colonies, Britain was developing and protecting them. He also held a hierarchical perspective on race. At first, Winston Churchill was a member of the Liberal Party. He began his political career by winning the 1906 general elections from the Manchester North West seat. In the new government, he became an Under-Secretary of State for the Colonial Office. He oversaw the formation of a Boer government, the Orange Free State. He sought to ensure equality between the Britishers and the Boers in South Africa. He also announced a gradual phasing out of the use of Chinese laborers in South Africa. In 1908, Winston Churchill was appointed as the president of the Board of Trade. He established a standing court of arbitration in order to deal with industrial disputes. Between 1908 and 1910, Winston Churchill introduced many bills such as the Mines 8 Hours Bill, Trade Boards Bill, and Labour Exchanges Bill. In February 1910, Churchill was promoted to Home Secretary, which gave him control over the police and the prison services. He implemented a prison reform program. Measures were taken to differentiate between criminal and political prisoners. The prison rules for the political prisoners were relaxed. Libraries were also constructed in prisons. Churchill also proposed the abolition of automatic imprisonment of people who failed to pay the fine. In October 1911, Churchill was appointed as the First Lord of the Admiralty. He modernized the Royal Navy and increased the production of warships and submarines in order to counter the threat posed by the German Navy. Winston Churchill oversaw Britain's naval effort during the early years of the First World War. In 1915, Churchill resigned from the government and joined the army on the Western Front. In 1916, he again entered politics. He was soon appointed as the Minister of Munitions, after which he successfully negotiated an end to a strike in munition factories. After the First World War, Churchill served as the Secretary of State for War as well as Air. He opposed the harsh measures that were imposed on Germany by the Treaty of Versailles. He exclaimed that a strong Germany could counter the expansion of the newly formed communist nation of Soviet Union. He also wanted Britain to give Iraq back to Turkey. In 1921, Churchill was made the Secretary of State for the colonies. He was involved in negotiations with the Irish separatist leaders and played a role in drafting the Anglo-Irish Treaty. In 1924, most of the influential political parties, including the Liberal Party to which Churchill belonged, supported the Labour Party. Fearing the signing of an Anglo-Soviet treaty, Churchill stood as an independent anti-socialist candidate in the upcoming election. But he was defeated and soon Winston Churchill joined the Conservative Party. In the re-election, Churchill was victorious and was appointed as the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He reduced the state pension age from 70 to 65 years. He also reduced income tax, instead imposing taxes on luxury items. He also provided pensions for the widows. In the 1929 general elections, Churchill retained his seat in the parliament from Epping, but the Conservative Party could not form the government. But soon, the Conservatives again formed the government in 1931. During the 1930s, Winston Churchill expressed the threat posed by Germany under Hitler and asked the government to increase the strength of the Air Force in order to counter the development of the Luftwaffe, Germany's own air force. He was also against the government's decision to grant dominion status to India. After the outbreak of the Second World War, Winston Churchill was appointed as the First Lord of the Admiralty, and he soon joined the War Cabinet. Churchill proposed that Britain should avoid fighting the Germans on the continent and engage only in the sea. After Chamberlain resigned his post in 1940, Winston Churchill had the best moments of his career as he became the next Prime Minister of Great Britain. His first action was to form a war cabinet in order to discuss Britain's involvement in the Second World War. During the early years of World War II, the Allies were being defeated on all the fronts. Winston Churchill rallied the people of the British Isles and continued to resist the Nazis even after the fall of their strongest ally, France. On 13 May 1940, he delivered the famous Blood, Toil, Tears and Sweat speech. In the Pacific Theatre, Britain lost many of its Asian colonies such as Singapore and Burma to Japan. In order to stall the Japanese expansion, Churchill ordered a scorched earth policy in eastern India, particularly in Bengal. This led to the Bengal famine of 1943, which killed more than 3 million people. Although supplies of grain was sent from Iraq and Australia to Bengal, but till the time the supplies reached there, the damage was already done. After the attack on Pearl Harbor and Operation Barbarossa, the United States and the Soviet Union also joined the Allied powers. On 1st December 1943, Winston Churchill met the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, in the Tehran Conference in order to discuss the future course of action of the Allies. They together decided that the United States and Britain will invade France and Italy, and the Soviet Union will invade German-controlled Eastern Europe. After a long struggle, Germany finally surrendered to the Allies in 1945. During February 1945, the Big Three, Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Joseph Stalin, gathered in the city of Yalta in modern-day Ukraine in order to discuss the major disputes regarding the creation of a post-war world. The United Nations was created in order to maintain world peace. Most of the lands annexed by the Axis powers was divided on the basis of economic ideology. Many nations such as Germany, Korea and Vietnam were separated into two nations where one of the nations was based on capitalism while the other was based on communism. These nations would soon become the centers of proxy wars during the Cold War. On 8 May 1945, Victory in Europe Day was observed by the Allies and the war was mostly over for Britain. Until July 1945, Winston Churchill continued to carry out his work as the Prime Minister, but in the following general election, Churchill lost the election and he had to resign from his post as the Prime Minister. From 1945 to 1951, Churchill remained the leader of the opposition. He supported the creation of the Council of Europe, which would eventually become the European Union. In one of his trips to the United States, Churchill gave the Iron Curtain speech, in which he spoke against the creation of the Eastern Bloc, which was headed by the Soviet Union. After the 1951 general elections, Winston Churchill again became the Prime Minister. Churchill feared global conflagration and believed that the only way to save Britain from it was to have better diplomatic relations with the United States. Winston Churchill oversaw the independence of many British colonies such as Egypt, Sudan, and Malaysia. In the year 1953, Winston Churchill, the US President Harry S. Truman, and the French Prime Minister Joseph Leniel met at the Bermuda Conference in order to restrict further expansion of the Soviet Union and communism. By this time, Churchill's health was deteriorating and he already had a stroke. His political career finally came to an end after he retired as the Prime Minister in April 1955. Just like any other individual whose actions have been recorded in history, Winston Churchill cannot be considered as good or bad, but instead his personality lies somewhere between the two. Assumptions about Winston Churchill's personality may differ due to political reasons. For example, a socialist person may consider Winston Churchill to be a bad person, while a capitalist person will consider Winston Churchill to be a good person. Winston Churchill's personality also changed with time. For example, at first Winston Churchill was against women's suffrage movements, but later on he supported the government's decision to provide voting rights to all women. This creates an issue as now we have to decide which actions of Winston Churchill during different time periods do we give more emphasis to. Then comes the Bengal famine, for which Winston Churchill is criticized the most. A military tactician may consider such human sufferings during the famine to be a wartime sacrifice, but a humanitarian person would consider that to be a crime against humanity. So, from all of this, we can conclude that Winston Churchill was a good as well as a bad person. That was all about Winston Churchill. Please watch the rest of the videos which will be uploaded in our collaboration channel Shining Nature in order to know more about Winston Churchill. Please like, share and subscribe the channel if you enjoyed my work, and at last, thank you for watching this video.